Right in the pit, meat falls right off the bone.
Oh man, Maui Snake food reviews coming soon. Nico's cooking up a nade I haven't seen before. Where's he going? Flash cooked, lined and ready for that B stairs position. Fiku in position to receive. And Dexter's actually mid. They've got a 3-man B lean. We'll see how well this one translates, as it looks like it's go time.
Yes, it is. A couple of missed shots, potentially. Fiku feeling a little bit weary right now. He's trying to look for it, but he can't quite find it. Shockingly, though, he's still alive. He's getting a third crack at it now. And finally, he goes down. ZywOo able to put him out of his misery. Jax now put into play, and this is getting overwhelming. ZywOo with a couple of more headshots, and that wipes out the defense.
Just NEOFRAG left, and wow. The flash support was excellent there, but let's see if NEOFRAG's able to bring this one back. 1 kill in his name, a second in fact, looking for more, but he's run out of bullets, he has to reload, and that's gonna do it. Vitality pick up the pistol. There was every reason for Fiku to find a multi-frag there. There was flashes everywhere. His opponents were blind, but he just couldn't connect, Machine.
Well, I mean, yeah, but can we also acknowledge that when a player is flashed and strafing and wiggling, that head and model continues to be a amorphous blob. Very difficult to get a handle on things. Not if you're ZywOo. Actually, you make that 3K look rather pedestrian. And at the end there, I got a little nervous for a second. Like, NEOFRAG, they took a while to finish him off. He got ZywOo low. If he didn't have to reload, that could have been a different round.
If he had the dualies.
Okay, now we're talking, which isn't getting Vogue at times. This, however, is an OG force buy. 3 leaning ramp, an early friction coming at it.
I like it. Why not try and see if you can crunch it here? Again, you are the underdog team, so I actually like to see them make plays like this.
It's 4. Excuse me, not even 3. It's 4.
Yeah, they've got almost everyone here. They've got Fiku on the other side, a little bit aggressive on the B stairs, so this could work out. I like this attempt.
They've sacked mid. Okay, when are they going to explode, though? That's the question.
Ooh, going for a look. ZywOo in the feed. It's going to be a big one out of NEOFRAG. Takes 2 of the hardest hitters out. NEOFRAG chasing Jax, trying to evade capture. He does well to get away. He needed to. Maintain the 3-on-3, but already this is looking very threatening for the OG conversion. Can they find the equalizer? That's a great Deagle headshot. Well tracked by Fiku, kind of redeems himself from the previous. And more on the docket. Does Kate down Jax, and that's 3 on the Deeg. Snappy and spicy, just like a Hawaiian pig.
Yes, yes. Actually not known for their seasonings necessarily. More about just that raw, beefy flavor, and Fiku had that in those shots.
There's nothing I love more, Maui, than beefy pork. Beefy pork is my favorite.
Immediately when I said that, I wanted to take it all back, but I was going to run with it.
No, it makes sense, actually. Absence of spice, considering, I guess the Silk Road wasn't through Hawaii, was it? It wasn't much of that.
No, I think that wasn't that on mainland China mostly? And
yeah, but I think we got some of it shipped over to Europe at some point. There was some boats and some tea or something I heard about.
Did create some chaos along the way, didn't it? Just a little bit.
Yeah.
What do you make of this one then, Maui? It's aggressive back. Vitality are playing the Force by Wars.
Yeah, and what's really interesting is how they're going to use that single flash from Apex and the smoke. You think it's for this ramp pop. There it is. NEOFRAG spots it out, playing a pretty safe game, all things considered. And now just that smoke from Apex means this is probably going to be a pretty one-dimensional play. And playing right around that one-way is degster. That is a freebie, a frag on a Jax, and this is not going to get any easier for Vitality. No, it does not. A second kill, in fact.
It's almost like they don't know that their toes can be seen. I mean, like, no one else, please, no one else.
It does feel like a lack of awareness with the options available with this smoke.
Like, that smoke is so Vogue, they can peek it from the top as NEOFRAG is, and now Apex hoping to win a close quarters duel. Engagement found, and headshot 2. Little bit of a turning of the tide, if you will.
That's very, very cool. Yeah, that's a very suspicious smoke, of course, on top of the sandbags, but apparently no one really worried about it. Let's see if they can bring it back with just the Galil here in the MP9. Apex goes down, so it's starting to really fall apart here. Dexter with a 4th kill, looking for the ace, and he will get it, sending Spinks off the building.
Magnificent Dexter. We talked about who's going to pop off more and how that's going to be a question of who delivers in this series over at the desk. Well, Dexter's arrived, and we know that ZywOo's present. And now we just want to see a scoreline a little more competitive than that Anubis. I mean, it was certainly a bit of a one-way street, especially in that second half. Vitality just 6-0ing on their T side of Anubis too close. ZywOo 21-5 in map 1, so Dexter's got a pretty high bar set if he wants to shine as bright as Vitality's star.
Yeah, just want to throw it out again. Said it on the last map, but a lot of people were thrown off by this red herring tweet that degster shot off, that he was calling, that he had all this respect for people like Fallen, like Jame, whoever, and he's not calling. He's not calling. I talked to flameZ about it. But the story behind it is just that degster, after a couple days of practice, for some reason just said to flameZ, I want to send out a funny tweet. And then he's like, what should I do? And then flameZ was like, just say you're calling or something.
Yeah,
And like, there's no reason for the tweet.
I like it.
People just send things out on Twitter. They don't have to have any deeper meaning. They don't even have to have any meaning.
No, just ask Harry about that.
Yep.
His Twitter is a prime example. Oh, that's oh! He's on the screen. And now it's degster. There we go. Here we go. Oh, he's not going to get another 5. It's only the 2, and now I get a little humbled. They've got 2 frags on a full eco, and even an M4 in Jax's hands. I would maybe be a little scared for OG. Of course, flameZ, he's not bothered. He's just going to play the straight-up aim duel and win. Again, it seems that Vitality's toes just a little exposed throughout these last 2.
That was such an incredible commit from NEOFRAG. I'm not even sure he meant to do it. It looked like he just kind of stumbled off the ledge, and there's 5 people waiting for him on the other side. Jax gets a kill on flameZ. It's getting very, very sketchy right now. OG, they created the space for themselves by winning that sick round where they stacked the A ramp. They can't give it back. If they lose this round, it's actually criminal.
Yeah, and they've recovered a smoke. It's not going to be perfect. Short's still a threat, and so is the bang through the smoke. Okay, awkward now, and yeah. Things will peter out, but that's the magic number of 3. 3 frags on that CT side. It's going to force some rebuy, start to whittle away at that economy, but we do need to see Vitality posting rounds. It's time for AKs.
Just to his credit, though, that was Jax finding all 3 of those kills. It's in these kinds of moments where you're getting this opportunity to play on a big stage that you're going to be hyper-focused, just constantly trying to find kills, manufacture something out of thin air. And in that moment, I mean, I think Jax in these last 2 days in general has shown such strength in terms of mechanical prowess. And that's something that you would think if you're bench from a team like Heat, you wouldn't have it spades, but Jax proven everybody wrong.
Yeah, I really struggle to think of another player in Europe right now that could get picked up on a team that would be as big of an addition at the moment. It just feels like there aren't that many players that aren't already slotted into a team. Like, who else is benched right now that we could say, oh, well, let's get him on the team right now. It's like, Jax is going to be one of the safest candidates at the moment.
Yeah, but it's being bought out of a contract that's probably a deterrent. It's a tough situation to be thrown in on the bench, but still contracted. We've seen many a player fall foul to that. degster again with the pressure. A double. 1 bullet, 2 frags. The collateral damage ringing through Vitality's ranks.
This has got to be another round for OG. They are really stopping Vitality right in their tracks. No great answer just yet. degster still holding line, has so much control, but wow. Blinder of a shot coming out from Magisk.
And then he's achieved an awful lot with that one. Now, rotation through, you can see NiKo to back up flameZ. There is going to be a gap elsewhere, but no one to probe. In fact, all 3 gathering for the A take. In 28 seconds, it is tight. ZywOo's utility will force a fight. Oh, lots of knowledge. They heard the burn. They know NiKo is there, but are they ready for flameZ? Magisk is. 3 huge impact frags out of Magisk.
He just wins the round on his own. He just brings it back. That is absolutely sick. 3 on 3, and now into a 1 versus 3 instead. Fiko's kind of shown up, but again, unless they fight him one at a time, there should be no way to get back into a round like this. I'm a little bit surprised that he's gone this aggressive. Good dink onto Cypher. He's looking for another one, but it'll be too much. Magisk definitely winning the round on his own here.
I've got a fun pop quiz for you guys.
Oh, dear.
Oh, sure.
Closest wins a can of Monster Energy.
Okay.
So, how many estimated AK-47 Kalashnikov rifles do you think are in global circulation?
Let's say what? 250 million?
250 mil?
Damn.
Seems like a lot, but
that does sound like a lot.
But I just know that they were pumping them out
and
at
it's
some points.
seen as like the kind of universally useful rifle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it costs quite a bit more in Counter-Strike than it does in real life. I think the average price is like $600 to $700 or something like that in the real world. Yeah, so they're not that expensive.
Feels
in that
pretty
sense.
low, all things considered.
Yeah. Oh, now you've put a number in.
Your gaming rig costs more than an AK.
Yeah, completely blank that number out from Maui. What would have come out of your mouth? I'll give you a hint. It does end in million.
Yeah, I would have guessed closer to something like 80 to 100 million would have been my guess.
That's a very good guess, and that's a very good opener for an eco stack. And he's just going to do some housekeeping or the boosting. Oh, yo.
Oh, I love
I'm
this.
so excited.
Yes.
Anders, take the mic.
I've been tweeting about this for quite a bit. I put a video out on Twitter and everything.
Didn't see him.
He didn't spot him?
Wait. Oh, he did. He did. He comes back.
Yeah.
Someone, maybe Magisk was watching him and just said, "Hey, dude,
Or
you
radar.
saw him."
Probably
radar.
Yeah.
If you do that boost instead in the corner that they did, but on the other side, like closer to where the stairs are, you don't have that sliding off problem that he did right there. And also, you can't be seen in the middle. So if the T's walk through, there's no way they're going to spin around and check it.
Interesting.
So,
but yeah, the
super
answer, 72 million. Kind of monster for you, Anders. Congratulations.
7, and I said 80.
You said 80. That's pretty
You got
good.
closer, though.
250 was a large number, but I'd have probably said the same, to be honest.
Yeah.
Once it's past 1 million, it's just numbers at that point.
I've been watching a couple movies about gun running, like Lord of War with Nicolas Cage, War Dogs with Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum.
Are they based on true
Or not Channing
stories
Tatum.
or something?
Yeah, both of those are based on true stories, actually. Yeah. They're both pretty entertaining for their own different reasons.
I think I watched War Dogs on a plane once.
It's perfect for that because the first 45 minutes are good, but then you can just fall asleep. Like,
It's almost exactly what I did.
it kind of falls off the movie. Yeah.
They made it for that reason. It wasn't. They're like, let's make a movie that people can watch on a plane and just fall asleep.
And then it starts getting really dialogue heavy and they can fall asleep.
It's all good. Well, it's
What do you make of that? That's a nice little team nade in. And Vitality far. Well. 3-2. Eco doesn't get them too far, but they're not going to be complaining with 2 frags. Forces 2 rebuys or drops. And this is the boost. You can see Spinks definitely was a moment, but no idea why his radar was popping up red.
again, if you do it in the other corner, you can just
And you
slide
still have
into
vision?
you can slide into the corner, and then if you want, like, you can slide back out to check the look in the middle. You can slide back in. Yeah, I mean, obviously your vision's not going to be as deep into the middle like that. But if you really want to look into middle that way, you don't have to do the triple boost. You can just double boost on the box in the middle of the bomb site, in the middle of B, and you can look over, and you won't slide off at all. So it's doable without the sliding.
And
even.
speaking of boost, this is
Why are you not coaching them?
a very common evolution in Vertigo. There's 2 different angles of assault for these boosts. Magisk is lining up a little one-way smoke. Oh, or not. It's actually the HE. Thought he was going to just smoke under the stairs, peek around it, chooses to hold on to it. We still have 3, make it 4 smokes for Vitality. They can go anywhere they want. They've got full B stairs control.
Not a lot.
How's the rest of the map control? Okay, mid, they're looking for a little bit of action.
This probably looks to be building up to be their first real mid take. We haven't seen mid utilized by either team too much just yet, and you know that eventually the T's do have to find some space here, at the very least to do some conditioning, but okay, first fight towards the B stairs, and it's Magisk to pick up 2. That is huge for Vitality, because now they have so many options, and all of them seem to be pretty good.
Interesting. Spinks is lining up for Molly for A side, and that's the cue for Magisk just to start to meander into the site and confirm it's clear. NEOFRAG and degster still on A, feet planted. It's flameZ that has a chance to flip the script.
I don't even know. I mean, he'd have to get so much done in the middle right here. He has to get a double kill, then turn around and go and defend the bomb site afterwards. It just seems so ridiculous. If they knew right now what was going on, it's just a save call, and yeah, they're gonna make their way out. It makes so much sense.
Yeah, necessary. It just felt like flameZ was not going to get away. Does time that to perfection.
That early kill from Magisk is such an interesting way that what can happen in the game sometimes when you throw a flashbang to get popped in for a flash, but actually all you're doing is alerting the T side player for when to peek. Like, you're just giving him the instant beacon of saying, because he's down there waiting and thinking, like, when do I peek? Like, is it now? But once you hear the pop, you're like, well, of course now. I'm going to definitely go look. Which is just, it works against you, actually, instead of for you.
It's one of those risk assessment type of deals when you consider the game theory, I guess, of it, where it's just, are you going to be flashing more positions that he's likely to be occupying, or are you selling yourself on the 1 or 2 that are countering that flash play?
And when you're, I think Fico or whoever it was walking in first, right? It's also like Fico, like it's almost a decision you have to make. That pop flash, if you take the first little peek down there and you don't see anyone that's flashed, very often it's time to just walk away. Just because if you overextend, you're like, actually, let me just make sure there's no one in the corner that's hiding. That's why it's like, yeah, but you are now exposing yourself more and more and more. It's becoming a huge risk. And yeah, this time you could see he was still kind of like looking for somebody down there. Super risky. But I mean, yeah, it is like a risk versus reward calculation you have to make in the moment.
Yeah, speaking of risk, 3, dry, out mid. They know they're against the small pistols.
I love this. This actually, the fact that more teams are now using the middle of Vertigo has made it such a better map.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Nico hits a nice one to the face of Spinks, but he lives on to tell the tale. 5-7, just not quite lethal at that range, despite some well-placed crosshair. And yeah, this is where Apex just calling a good game.
Yeah.
You know, it was a straight-up Scooby-Doo, split-up gang, and they do.
Nice.
I would say that of the maps that Apex has called the best in his history, I would say Vertigo's got to be at the top. It's also not always the hardest map to call necessarily, but I think that he has found a home for himself as the leader when it comes to this map, for sure. Like, there's no questions for me.
Well, and one of the main differences of Vertigo to every other map at the pool is this verticality in the sound cues by which you can bait and switch and throw people into disarray. Fast ZywOo peek onto B. What is he up to? Viku not expecting that one. So hyper-aggressive. We were talking about ZywOo bringing that star potential. Well, that is one fight you don't see many other AWPers try and take. Through the Molotov, no less.
He's just so ready to run through. I think the same kind of play can be called the ZywOo towards Banana on Inferno. He's just so ready to charge forward. And even though Magisk has been hanging out here for quite some time, it hasn't actually found the frag. And they might not expect Nico here. He found a little bit of a timing, a window, and now he's slotted himself behind that Molotov, but it's not enough. The trades are there, and Vitality do have sight control.
Yeah,
oh, wait, no.
Whew, disrespects the smoke.
That is such a risk. I can't believe that he got away with it. I can't believe Nico got the kill and did just die right away with a Molotov in front of him. That's pretty sick. 2 versus 3, and OG, they desperately need this. They've lost like 4 in a row right now. They need to keep it going. They've got to win this round, OG. Otherwise, they could get wiped out like they did at Anubis. And obviously, a 2-0 loss here would be pretty devastating. You want to show that you could take this fight to Vitality.
An unusual fake there. They are just going to have to be eventually committing to this. Jax now will get that down. No utility over the top, but nice angle, hard spray, Spinks in trouble. Ah, yikes, Jax doesn't take a frag, some damage inflicted, but yeah, the nade will come through. Degster dunks, and OG, the necessary round Anders outlined. Yeah, it's come through.
Did look very cool at the end, though. Very chill way to go down. It's also funny, obviously, at the end, he turned around for the HE. It doesn't really work, but...
it's coming.
Yeah. Gotta spin around, don't get flashed.
Okay, what could be a mechanic to take less HE damage? So actually, let's not give Valve any ideas.
We were talking about in the last one just a little bit of can you shoot the grenades in Source 2?
What if you could go prone and drop yourself on the grenades to save your teammates?
Oh my god. No, they'll like that one. Can we delete the VOD? Delete the VOD. Delete the VOD.
That one can't be in the game.
No.
Prone Counter-Strike seems like...
Prone Counter-Strike is not the one.
No.
As someone that competed in a game where people were dolphin diving, it's not the one.
Where people like jump and go prone mid-air and all that stuff. Good times.
Yeah, nice opening pick, though, for NEOFRAG. It's just wide swinging out, able to take down Apex. Man advantage.
Yeah, you were complimenting Vitality's Vertigo, and I think my main gripe so far, watching this T side, has been that every time they've come ramped, they just lose the duels. Like, the CT's OG are just happily taking these fights! Oh, it's rare to see someone punished for a jump peek like that. That's usually the quote-unquote the safest way to get the info. ZywOo's just quicker. Yeah,
he's top of the scoreboard for his team, but more quiet than he's been in most of the maps that we've seen so far. So that's at least something for OG to work with if they can keep him that way. Dexter's going to be going down. Jax will pick it up. And it's a 3-on-4 here, and they're going to go and get the bomb plant right now.
Magisk could go down if they were brave. They don't push. Flames flashed. Up and over for one. Fiku does deliver. Nico alone on the box is very tagged up as ZywOo and Jax. And that nade could be destined for glory. ZywOo lives to tell the tale. Fresh magazine secure. And likely a 6th round looming for the Danish-French side. And Israeli, I should say.
Yeah, they've got
it about Spinks. They got it all, and Magisk, or Magisk, does go down. They are low, but it seems the time is low enough. Locked and loaded for that one. So can I hear it? Can you just say Magisk's name properly 3 times?
Magisk.
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 When you say it, you sound like Pimp.
He does.
I know.
He does. It's crazy.
got
Magisk. Okay. It's actually it's the end that I wasn't doing. It's the isk.
Yeah,
Magisk.
this is the problem with the
Magisk.
Danish language is you've got this really hard stop on like all the words. Like things don't drag out the way that they do in English. So it's brutal to learn, no doubt.
Did you have the same thing when you were picking up English? Did you kind of initially struggle with the language breaking?
Yeah, definitely. Then I watched a lot of Monty Python, and I realized I don't know if this is actually true, but since it's the Realm of Eagles and everything, I'm going to tell you. I feel like what cracked it for me is I realized whenever I was quoting song lyrics or movie quotes to friends, I had no accent at all. I had no problem doing it. Like the accent just went away, and it made me realize, surely that means it's just in my brain. Like it's just like a nervous thing. So then I thought, what if I just learn to not do it anymore?
What if I just learn to not be nervous?
Yeah, just try and don't do that. I feel like everyone who's Danish or anything else, like Swedish, like you can quote movie lyrics, you can sing with no accent.
Yeah.
So then it must be possible for you to make the noises. It's just not, you know.
It's true.
Why is it that sometimes also, and this question could go to Machine too, why is it when British people sing, sometimes, I mean, they just don't sound British?
Well, apparently there was a study, and there are people that have Tourette's, but they don't tick when they are singing.
Oh.
And
Different part of the brain.
Exactly, a different part of the brain is responsible for that than is like, you know, just verbal communication.
I'm assuming, or I'm fairly sure if you're singing or playing music, you have to use both left and right hemispheres. Like it has to be like across the brain. But obviously talking is like, there's a speech center, so to talk.
But that's why video games are so appealing to so many of us, is because it guarantees and activates both left and right side of your brain. You have the physicality of it, but you also have the creativity and problem solving, and it's very. That's the reason we can so easily be locked into a gaming session. Time becomes very relative.
Here's something fun for people to Google if they care about brain stuff. If you Google split brain, you're gonna get some really freaky stuff. There's a highway of neurons in our brain that's called the corpus callosum that connects left and right hemispheres. And if you cut that in people, it turns out they kind of go on functioning pretty well. You can actually do it when patients are awake. And
wow.
So, which is obviously very unusual. Oh,
How did they find that out?
Yeah, a lot of these medical things I think are pretty gruesome if you look into it.
During the war?
Probably something
Do you
like
remember
that.
that whole era of medicine where we were making loads of technological advancements, but like
At the cost of human
bodies
lives.
and corpses and graves robbers was like also quite premium.
That's how it's funded,
jobs at the time. You just go and sell bodies to universities.
The history of it's probably a bit rough.
Cash in hand. You know, you got any cadavers?
But here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Like catalytic converters.
If you are awake when they cut that bridge between left and right side, which part of them is now you? Like, is the feeling of you trapped in one of the... There almost has to be, right? Because only one of them is going to be, you know, the one that's operating.
Yeah.
That's hard for me to figure out.
Yeah, every time I look at myself in the mirror, am I Alex Ellenberg or Maui Snake?
When you go on Tinder, how does it... Do you introduce yourself as Maui Snake and expect people to know who you are?
I actually get mad when they don't know.
All right.
Nowadays.
I like that.
But...
That's an hint. That's the first question. Like, I'm assuming you know who I am.
Right.
If they don't, then it's like, well, unfollowed, unblocked, whatever it is.
Yeah, we're back to a real gun round, though. And there's a nice damage exchange here towards the B side. Actually been loving how Vitality has been playing with this B side, mostly off the back of Magisk's excellent defaulting. But you can see already that OG have expended so much utility, and they don't have much to actually write home about regarding that. Couple smokes, a molly, a flash. This doesn't really lead to a lot of great mid-round plays for them, and so they're going to have to stand their ground here. And Vitality, they're aiming for this B site. They are centering their attack.
5 flashes.
Yep.
And then 2 of them, they just retrieve! Jax has done it again! Just walks and demands ahead. Nico, was on the chopping block. Fiku's got him back to a level playing field. This is a big frag to post, and Apex fumbles. ZywOo trades, bomb down, 20 seconds. Could go either way. That's a dual flameZ just about holds on to, and now OG, they're kicking up enough of a fuss. They have to get this bomb through. Oh, flameZ' bomb sticking out.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh, no. 7 seconds left. They're going to get the bomb plant here. 2 versus 1. And NEOFRAG sneaking up behind him. Might get one of them for free. Spinks has got no idea. And NEOFRAG, look at the trigger discipline. He's waiting to see if there's another player he could spot on the bomb side. That would have been a sick play, but instead, Magisk on the other side. A nice finish for him. A triple overall. Man, unfortunate.
Has anyone really been far even as decided to use even go want to do look more like?
Yeah.
You're having a stroke, Alex.
That's one sign.
If you're offering, Anders. Hey!
Not bad. Not bad. Really sharp round from Jax and Magisk in this one. Just great, sharp shooting. You could see it was a bit of a stringy attack from Vitality, just one by one by one, but they were actually going in mostly supported by all those flashes that we talked about earlier. So even though to the untrained eye it looked a little bit sloppy, it was actually by design. So Vitality well in control of that situation for the most part.
Also, apart from the whole 1v2 trigger discipline thing, yeah.
Except for that,
yeah,
for the most part.
That's the most part.
Love the fact that Jax gets the entry in that previous round and still moves forward. He's like, I'm probably going to be useless in this round, but the least I could do is figure out where's the rest of the defense inside. Like, he's got one more mission. Even if he dies, he can call it in. And, you know, he was solo on health. He would have died even if they threw beans at him.
Beans?
Like baked variety?
Or refried.
Haricot vert, perhaps? What are we saying?
Heinz?
Heinz, probably.
It's an obscure internet reference that
Bean.
I won't elaborate too much on.
That's probably for the best. The wry smile on Anders' face right now is enough of an indicator. We were talking about Boxy earlier. Do you remember Boxy?
Yeah,
My name is
Boxy.
Boxy.
Yeah, everybody's first internet celebrity crush. Just kidding.
Absolutely.
Just,
yeah, obviously me joking too, yeah.
Yeah, just not me.
Yeah, my MySpace phase, okay?
Learning HTML
We
to
all wanted,
impress women.
How did that go?
The one-time coding actually helped you.
It's true. Hey,
with
babe,
women.
you want a glittery profile picture?
You want a banner?
You want it to rain love hearts?
The marquee banner?
I got you, hun. I'm a hacker man. And so it's Spinks coming on in hot with a quick head to the dome of degster. NEOFRAG back. A lot of a brutal affair here on the B-bomb side. flameZ will be the last to fall, and it seems like Vitality have found the recipe for success. It's just go B.
Yeah, it's been very brawly, but it's also been working out in Vitality's favor. So even though these rounds are looking a little bit hectic, it's actually playing to the plan of Apex.
And to be honest, when they were going to the A ramp, they ran into degster. He was shooting them under the smoke. I mean, they just decided it's not really worth it. He's having a really good game over there, so let's go and harass Fico and NEOFRAG instead and just hit the B bomb side. So it's not maybe a hard choice to make.
No, probably not. Magisk again going to be dispatched towards those B stairs earlier. Oh, sorry, Magisk has been dispatched towards those B stairs. And again, this aggression out of OG, the reason we probably aren't seeing them at ramp is because they're fighting for it tooth and nail. NEOFRAG's been set up for this. Now let's see how far ZywOo, or how ZywOo's procedures lead to this clear, because the smoke's going to be fading in about 5. And then it's up to ZywOo. Oh, okay, Eyes of a Hawk, or a Peregrine Falcon.
That's very impressive. Tricky shot to be hitting right there. Apex could do some work in the middle. Even if degster gets one back, this is going to make some hard choices on the OG side. 3 versus 4 like this, you almost kind of just need to gamble a little bit now.
Wow, this is the one play degster had to make. They know that they had him basically stuck at the top of that ramp, and he recognizes that Vitality likely don't want to actually engage with the single op against them, and so he's just pushing. It's incredibly risky, very bold, but it could be round defining.
Yeah, Flame shows mid-presence, keeps the eyes away from the potential flank. Like, you're not expecting the AWPer to be flanking you. This could be massive from degster. Now he's just got the keys, and he's locked the door. But he's going to continue to push. This is a little audacious. They're definitely not ready for it. degster reveals himself. Oh, and he takes them both down, slips away, and makes a round out of it for OG.
Still 24 seconds. He's looking right over. You could almost see it. It's a quick scope taking down Apex.
4. He can ace him.
He might be. Oh, it's close, isn't it? So close. But degster goes down, and there's still 10 seconds here. Spinks, you have to run for it if you want to try. Oh, he's going to give it up. I wish he would have just barreled onto the bomb side. That would have been a sick end to the round.
Holy
wow,
guacamole. That is Spicy, man, oh man, from degster.
I just love that degster recognizes his team's win condition every single round. Like, he knows how important it is for him to make the proactive play. If he leaves those two riflers with low utility, I think one of them might have even been sitting on a FAMAS, just up to their own devices, they're probably going to lose the round. It was a 4 versus 3, and so he just takes matters into his own hands. You can see how that fires him up, but this round still, or this half, it's still well in the favor of Vitality.
ZywOo's up to no good. Let's go for the quickest peek, and Nico's dunked on him with the MP9 OG. Pedal to the metal. Jax will hold us at bay, and into that 3-on-3 very early now, Anders. We haven't had an early mid-round like this. 90 seconds for these three to piece together the 10th.
Yeah, this is such a window for Vitality that it obviously is a bit brutal being jumped on like that, but the 3-on-3 they're going to be just fine with. And look at the positioning of the OG team. Again, they are going to try and see if they can maybe sneak it in, but I'm not sure. One of them underneath. Bomb is going to be planted here, surely. They do have a lot of grenades for the retake. That's maybe the one upside here. Apex about to be put under a little bit of pressure. He's got the right idea. Almost missed the timing. And NEOFRAG, he might have the upper hand here instead.
Yeah, Apex has gone for a clear. NEOFRAG, very wise to be hiding there. And now Apex, yeah, he's still considering it. NEOFRAG's crawl needs to be well-timed here. Apex on a cursory glance, does have the information now, but it's NEOFRAG's frag. flameZ tagging him up in the smoke. Jax is in trouble. No, it's only on Jax, and they're face-to-face in the smoke. A recovery from OG, and aggression towards the B steps to close that gap. 9-6 on the half.
Combined under 100 HP for the remaining OG players, but they're still able to get it done. We're going to see if they're able to give us anything more after a break.
That you bring, I will be standing cause I am the king, I am the lion, this is my jungle, like a gorilla, ready to rumble. All out till we take the crown, we ain't giving up, we ain't backing down, we the new money, about to rise up, time to move over cause your time's up. Way too hungry, never be denied, pain in my eyes, aiming for the skies, better sit down, better be humble, hope you ready, into the jungle. It's all around, ready for war now, standing on this ground, and we will not give up the crown. Fighting till the end, we stay until we win. Y'all better bring it on, cause this is our battle song. Into the jungle, into the jungle, bring it on. What in the world, huh? You all on my nerves, huh? You never return, huh? When you enter in the jungle. We ain't going nowhere, we ain't got no fear. Into
run 'em up, run 'em up. I run with some goons, they pulling up. Looking for a problem, ooh, that's us. We get on the field and run 'em up. My God, he's a ZywOo! The best in the game!
6-9. It's the number. It's the sex number. 69,
number.
everybody. That's right. OG have 6, Vitality have 9, and Apex very happy with what he's laid down there. Despite what his recap might show you, he's definitely been having a pretty comfortable day in the office. They're 1-0 up and already up, swapping into the CT half of Vertigo. So Maui and Anders are hanging out with me. Does this fill you with confidence for the 2-0, or is Inferno still up for debate?
Vitality's CT side might even be better than their T side.
Ooh.
So I would say
Ouch.
that it is shaping up quite well. I was saying, well, actually, it's a pretty quick one here. And ZywOo, I think he's the best dualies player on the planet.
I love seeing Apex flash ZywOo win with dualies, an
Yes.
armored dual Beretta.
It's everything you could want.
Wow, they faked the steps. They're doing a Hugo. This is the Hugo Byron strat. And now degster shows face. ZywOo unloads, and now they're coming B. Come on, Jax. What you got? No. He's giving up the angle. At least he hears them coming now. Back to back, side by side, calling the 2 through the smoke. And now it's problems for Vitality. And
Probably
that's
didn't
a
need to try and do that.
crispy
Probably, he could have played it cool. He could have slowed it down a little bit, but they're still bringing it back. Apex and ZywOo with a couple of kills. Nico is on his own in the dualies. We'll get the job done in the end. There's good triple. Felt like Jackson had to jump the gun a little bit there. I feel like in a 4-on-5, you could probably you could be a little bit safe, but whatever. It doesn't matter. It works anyway.
Especially when Magisk is hitting that kind of shot. Like
Yeah.
the tiny pixel of a head above the bomb box. Not an easy one to hit, and that makes the whole round much easier. Now, ZywOo gave them the advantage in this early exchange, but yeah, that's the shot.
Bomba clot.
One bullet, yeah, exactly. My words exactly. As ZywOo gets himself 3, gets himself up to a very respectable, I've got headshots up, 15. Okay. Tied up with Magisk. Oh, I just said it wrong. And degster at 19. He is at the top of the server scoreboard.
One thing to keep an eye on for Vitality and ZywOo on this map on the defense is the fact that he likes rifling a lot. Barely ever pulls out the op. And that's something that bodes very well for Vitality moving forward. This is probably going to be a freebie round. We're keeping things very sexual here. And I'm going to say, Anders, you have one of your best tweets of all time with Apex in a sexual manner, if you know what I'm talking about.
He's unfortunately has become I think the highest engagement tweet I've ever had.
What did you do?
the pleasing 3 women at once tweet.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why that went super viral, but it did.
It was just a perfect caption.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? Well, luckily, Apex was good with it. Everyone's happy at the end of the day, I guess. All right, good cleanup.
Oh.
You spoke way too soon.
Wow.
Look at that.
No.
That's a plant. That's a rifle. That's it.
Ultimately, completely unnecessary from Sping's point of view, right? Like, there's no reason you have to do that, but fair enough.
Okay.
Fine. Everything's fine. Everything is...
Oh my.
Oh! Oh, Flames could do it. He doesn't have armor. If ZywOo somehow doesn't hit a single bullet, he can do it. That's the state of play. But this started with an eco, and now disaster has struck ZywOo and Flames duking it out. This is getting a little too rich for my blood. What are you supposed to do now? He's got him to half. Flames has played this clinically, and now expecting respect, ZywOo gives him the opposite. Fakes the speed, cancels the plant. Oh my God! 26 HP. Runs him down and finishes the job. That had so many layers to it.
ZywOo took every single opportunity to make that as uncomfortable for Flames as humanly possible, and yet Flames still able to get the bomb down, still able to inflict a lot of damage, but the 1v1 right there, that's how ZywOo's brain handles these situations differently than the rest of us. To see someone just jumping back and forth, in and out of cover to put that much pressure on, it's infuriating to play against if you're Flames.
Like watching it from his POV, if you didn't have X-Ray on, you're just mad.
Yeah.
You're just mad, especially because he tagged him like twice on those jumps across.
At least, yeah.
And just brought him down to 26, but ZywOo handled that so well. He knew the clock was on his friend, his side.
Yeah.
In a 1v1 especially, seeing a CT force the T to take that first move is exciting. Now this early battle towards ramp is about to go down. It's time to see who has ramp supremacy. ZywOo wants sandbags. Magisk to support.
they want to build a way back, they have to do it right now. They did a lot of damage, obviously 1 versus 1 at the end of the last round. So if they can do this, maybe degster's going to get one of them, but Spinks on the return, and ZywOo's going to get a kill too. It will be a 3 versus 4, even if Apex is very low on health here. He's got a little bit of an idea. Jax is on the other side. There's kind of a crossfire almost being set up. Jax will take care of business, and flameZ is alone. Oh, wow. He's so good.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he just feels like, you know, one of those wind-up cards. All you have to do is you just pull them back and they go. Like Jax will just go. You know, all you have to do is just point him in the direction and let him off.
I love that in the middle of that round, when Jax was on that B defense, Apex was smoked off the angle, and Apex was just staring at Jax's screen. Even though Apex is still alive, he was just turning over to his teammate, and he was able to witness that all in all of its glory. Just such a great hold. Like, the mechanics on Jax at this have been so splendid to watch.
Oh, talking
Run
about mechanics. Oh! flameZ with a showstopper and a life stopper. Jax, gonna be thinking about that one. It's forced an immediate rotation out of the CTs. Now it's time for OG to really pull teeth, make this hurt, and this boost could be painful. What a shot onto Spinks. They've got 2 AKs, and they've already started to fill the feed, both of them connecting, and now B site open for OG to plant.
You know, I bet it's possible to throw a decoy that would collide with the run boost from the CT side. So if you're just running there, you just auto throw the decoy into the air, like out the side of the building. And if people run boost by, they just fall down. And you do it for almost for free.
Okay, now that is a incredible, because I mean, if you've got an extra $50 to spare, you know, if you happen to have one.
If the spawn doesn't conflict with somebody wanting to fight another early round position, and you can just throw it out.
How devastated would you be on the T side? You're like, oh, they just knew that. Okay, cool.
I mean, for years, right, that nade has been in the game and has been widely regarded as useless.
You know what? I had a user on Twitter message me. I think it was Albert Orpstein or something like that.
Okay.
Anyway,
A genius, some would say.
So Albert
was obviously a genius. He did come up with a really interesting idea, and the idea is something like, because you know now people leave these stacks of grenades around the map for CTs to come and pick up. So he said, well, if you know where the stack's going to be, if you have a good idea, because many of them are kind of just default, like people just throw them in the same place over and over and over again, like think about construction on Inferno. So what if you land a decoy there, and when it blows up, it scatters the grenades out? So when the CTs come back to pick them up, they're like, where are all the nades?
Do you know if there's a gentleman's agreement to not do the door-blocking decoys?
I doubt it.
I don't know. I would assume... I would assume I'd have seen a pro player throw one for like something, because if you just underhand a decoy on like decon door and they don't have a HE, they cannot open the way.
Why don't you do this on pistol rounds on nuke?
Right.
People aren't always blowing it up. They're sometimes blowing it up.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a
Because
good
you just
point.
put it near the hinge, it literally doesn't open for the whole duration of the decoy.
That's insane. That's such a counter. I liked Monoc's use of it back when Dust 2 was in the pool.
bait?
Though. Yeah,
that's
the
cool.
op bait was, in my opinion, the strongest use of it in a professional match. But
I've enjoyed our decoy detour.
yeah, but we've got a game on our hands.
Maybe Source 2 will be will change those decoys, you know?
Maybe you can select what weapon your decoy has, so it just fires off a negative, doesn't matter what you have.
Oh, like a specific
I think
kind.
Heroic did that in the week they
but
played,
without
right?
having to buy the weapon first. You know, like you can just kind of select what
Five
decoy
negevs, no one can hear anything.
Yeah. Apex is going to get a lot of action if he's not careful. The counter smoke solves his problems. He would have been exposed, and now it's actually Magisk with 3 on his plate. Oh, horrible worst case scenario. Yeah, he's dead, and so is his partner in crime. 2 to the good. Jax proactive, leaps down. That could have been a different maker, as it did look like that was the bomb. flameZ gets away and heads over to the wide open A side.
Would like your guys' opinion on this. I think one of the contested weapon, I guess one that's a little bit more divisive, is the flameZ. We haven't seen it in too much play in this game or anything, but a lot of people really hate it. And someone even came up with the idea, just buy an MP9 and a Deagle sidearm and do that instead of a flameZ.
Sure.
But I'd love to hear what your guys' thoughts are.
You want to go first, Anders?
Just where do you think the flameZ has a place, or does it have no place in professional play?
I think it's necessary.
Yeah, I think
Like, it's
kinda-
definitely necessary. A counterpart to the Galil.
I feel like it is, but I personally just don't like it. Like, but that's just more like I just don't like playing with it. There's something about it. I also feel like it's kind of it sucks that it has burst fire that doesn't do like no one ever uses it. So maybe that's like a little bit. It would be fun if there was some functional like reason for there to be a burst fire on the gun. But yeah, I mean, I feel like. I feel like my personal feelings doesn't match with what pro players are doing with it. Like there are many pro players that are really proficient with it. So yeah, if they're all playing like me, it would be bad. But
I still see pros swap their FAMAS for a Galil if they can.
Oh yeah,
every time. Like, it's undoubted that it's not seen or favored by anyone. I mean, I saw someone interesting just look at the numbers and suggest it was basically the similar damage fall off and damage rewards for like a UMP at range. Like it's. Like you might be better off spending less and having more nades. Yeah, rate of fire, certainly.
Yeah. I think the argument that it should never be purchased. Okay, well, Apex getting one.
It's just one.
I think it's just one though. Yeah, I'm not gonna get too excited just yet on this. But
I would be if he had
almost
pulled the trigger on that crazy peak. It could have been more. But they've got pieces here now. Like, Spinks has an AK-47. NEOFRAG's weapon has fallen into enemy hands.
There's a lot of firepower on this bomb site.
But degster exists.
I don't know. This is a bit scary now.
Oh.
Especially with more people showing up. Boost on top is so close, and they're going to get the kill on Nico. Oh, this could go very bad for OG. They're starting to claw their way back into the game. It's only a 4-round gap. They desperately need to win this round.
Yeah, change that plant spot.
They know ZywOo's there. There was a boost earlier. Oh, but they turn away from it!
He hits it! He actually hits the shot, and Magisk has built upon it with USP! ZywOo bends him over his knee, and OG crumble. Oh man, that's going to feel very good on the Vitality side of the stage.
That's such a delicious peek, the first one that he does, because if he steps a little bit more to the left, he's exposed to the player that's actually covering the bomb plant. It's just as perfect as it could be.
Just
look at how close he is.
Oh, yeah, that's
crazy.
perfect. Oh, wow. That's a bitter pill to swallow on the side of OG. It does feel like the tactical side has been won in favor by Vitality, and now you would have to say that the firepower favors them as well. 13-8. Timeout actually called from Vitality. That's an interesting option. I feel like Sonic probably saying just settle down and close this one out cleanly.
I wish we could bring it up now. From us, if we're talking about like the real world, the actual magazine goes into like the back of the gun, right? Which is called a bullpup system. It means it extends the length of the barrel, which makes it more accurate. Like the longer the barrel is, generally, the more like.
Look at this arrow key gamer, man. That is the widest stance. You'll
so
see.
I'm saying it should be even more accurate.
Yeah.
Same with the AUG. AUG has the same mechanism for firing. It's a way to extend the gun barrel.
Hey.
He's down. Maybe it was the arrow keys.
Yeah, it was the arrow keys fault, I reckon. That's a good nade. No, it's not. Told a lie. Mummy told me never to do those.
Is it really a lie if you had the right intentions?
And as we were talking about this last night, you can't tell your kids to lie. Or maybe you can.
I've never lied.
That's the beautiful thing about having kids. You can tell them anything. And they'll believe it. It's actually brilliant.
Yeah, you are just the architect
Hugely
of the
underrated.
person they will become. Yeah, it's a great deal of responsibility.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to make your kids both CS professionals, I hope.
I've told them, you know, when you go to an elevator and it says like 17th floor, I've told them that's somebody's job to just not there on a microphone.
Cruel wizard. 17.
It seems like a harmless lie, but maybe
no,
later in life it'll be funny.
No, totally. I guess you can play those games, and yeah, Apex was completely unprepared for that. This little crawl. Oh, and Fiku hits the quick scope. So yeah, this one has just been determined by raw skill. OG have got buckets and spades.
Hold on. Hold the phone. That actually could have been sick. Still, good double for Spinks, but if he turned around and got one more, that would have been pretty devastating. What a surprise. OG losing that last round to ZywOo and his Deagle antics, and then somehow they just win this one cleanly back. There's a world in which OG can bring this to a third map if they stop losing some of the easier rounds. It's doable.
Yeah, I agree. I think OG can come back if they win rounds. I think that is a factual statement.
Good analysis on my part if I don't mind.
That's all I have to say.
Really tough. That's pretty airtight, actually.
Yeah, you can't poke holes in that one, Maui.
No.
Yes. I win.
You should get this guy on the desk.
I'm ready. I have done one event as an analyst. Can you believe that?
Really?
Yeah.
When?
Blast, Copenhagen. They pulled me in. I was on the desk.
Oh.
It was nice to see the...
You got to experience the
Yeah,
trade.
as
the
someone
ins
that had
and
been
outs.
desk hosting a lot at the time, and then being brought in to do analyst work, I started to appreciate, you know, why the analysts sometimes struggle to get their points across. Like, it is actually quite
You don't have the
overwhelming.
time for it.
Not me,
No,
though.
especially because 3 people are like talking, and then it's like, okay, Alex, and what about you? And I haven't got a point about that. I've got a point that what you just talked
Yeah.
about, and it's stop.
Gotta be quick on your feet.
Yeah, you do. You
Gotta
really
have a
do.
million ideas, a million takes, all of them scalding.
Yeah, and all of you and you also have to be able to say, oh, they've got to go there, play their game. Team that wins the most rounds will win, and a boost.
Gotta win the
As
pistol.
Pushing straight through
Oh my
is
god.
the Woo, and that's a great screen for flameZ. Bomb delivery, and already ZywOo just racking him up. He loves this angle. We used to call it Glaive. I'm starting a petition to start calling it ZywOo because he lives here on the CT side. AWP or rifle, it doesn't matter, doesn't make a difference. Fiku just catching the timing, and he's out.
Oh, but he's back. He wants to take a bite out of that player, but just throwing a deep molly, dissuading anybody from peeking him. But that actually segments this up nicely. He's able to find the 1v1 versus Jax, but pretty low HP, and the bomb is right there in front of Apex. No real hope for a retrieval mission. It would be like watching Donkey playing Death Stranding. It would be a clumsy effort, and probably one that results in hilarity for all that are
It's a
viewing.
niche reference, but
I was gonna say.
I got it. Yeah.
I actually just checked out that game. I mean, I didn't buy it. I was YouTubing it, trying to figure out if I should play it. It seems like an obscure game.
That's all I've gotten from it too, just YouTubing.
I haven't played a single Souls game.
Well, Death Stranding wouldn't be considered
Oh, it's
that.
not. Which one is that? The one with the backpacks and the ladders? Or
Yes, the one we have to like freight things across like an open world.
Oh yeah, that looked
Yeah.
ridiculous. That does look ridiculous. Sorry, in
Yeah.
my mind I was imagining like kind of a Souls-esque like.
I also haven't played any of those games, by the way. So
Yeah.
I haven't either, actually.
It looks like it's like a niche bucket of fun. I just don't think I have the patience.
I was talking to Yenko, he was playing Sekiro, and he just says it's just really hard.
Yeah.
I mean, they are just really hard.
Aren't they designed for people that want the struggle?
Yeah.
Right? They want to like try something
Want the
250
pain.
times and then get on the 250 first and be like, oh, that felt good.
I played Cuphead. I played through that. That
Yeah?
was good. That was satisfying. It wasn't too hard, even though people said it's really hard. It was pretty beatable.
Yeah, I got caused a rift in my previous relationship actually, Cuphead. Yeah, I couldn't handle how much better my ex was than me.
oh no,
At
Just
Cuphead.
couldn't process. I mean, yeah, she was just sitting there mocking me as I held the controller for the first time.
Maybe you should just
Upset
listen to
me.
the soundtrack.
Yeah,
That's sick.
I like the animations. I like that they've done a whole stop motion thing, but it was just
it's just devastating. I like that. That's funny.
devastating is a word for it.
Yeah.
Nico's got himself set. Look at this. They're going to do a little pounce.
You know, you can shoot through the outside. I guess like a trash slide, whatever it is that he's trying.
Yeah.
You can actually shoot through with an AK.
This is a full set piece, guys. I'll let it play out before I give it the double thumbs up, but I'm interested to see. So it's like the smoke implies they're going mid, and then they just burst stairs. Flashes. Fiku flashes as well. Oh, Nexa would be so proud of his boys. And Magisk has rumbled the whole thing. The whole operation comes tumbling down, and there's nothing to be celebrated off the back of all of that.
But don't let that dissuade you, folks, from taking that to your ESTA main game. If you need
Yeah.
another strategy, memorize those nades, memorize that entry route, because you're not playing against Jax and Spinks.
Yeah.
You're not. You're not. And that's it. I mean, it seems like there was grounds for that. Was that maybe a construction smoke? That would make the most sense. And then they just pop. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, and I think they're hugging that right side of the bomb site, right? So they're like the smokes and the Molotovs that are landing, trying to cover everything else, and they can just fight in that. But I mean, yeah, once you get shut down, it doesn't really matter. But it's a cool idea.
Yeah.
I like it. Not going to win them the round this time.
Typically, at that time in the round as well, they waited long enough that the guys either pushed B stairs
Yeah.
or he's like quad default.
I feel like that one falls short because you have so much runway to get to the bomb site, and so all those nades flying over, the CTs now just lock in, they're set up. They even probably could have deployed some decent counter utility throughout that, but that's why you usually don't see top tier teams throw things out of spawn. But you know, it was worth an attempt. OG, they have a lot of ground to make up, and you got to go deep into this playbook, one that I'm sure has been haphazardly thrown together, but they have spotted Fiku out and they have added insult to injury. $800 for him going into what may be the ultimate round of this series.
We've got 23 seconds of a OG tactical timeout. I haven't come up with a good name for this one yet. I just want to get the brain trust involved. When they've managed to recover 4 AKs and an AWP, for the CT side, like that's like the best CT buy you could possibly have. We're looking for a name. We're open into it. Please tweet your suggestions.
I'm thinking like poker, like something like, you know, like Royal Straight.
I
Henry,
think Henry said Royal Flush on our broadcast, but
that's right. That's a good one.
I would love to hear what the users out there, the fans, have to say, because there's some great creativity out there, especially when they're just naming things like this.
Yeah, put your heads together and let us know. You can tweet at us directly or use the hashtag ESL Pro League. That's E as in the letter E, S as in the letter S, and L as in the letter L.
As in what OG may be taking.
Oh. Yes, indeed, as we see Fiku with a naked Glock and a Molotov.
Oh, that really hurts.
That actually really sucked. He doesn't really get to contribute. Let's see what he can do, as this could be the last round of our second series today, day 2 of Group C of ESL Pro League. And you know how to spell that now, so you're all sorted.
Without you, they would have been lost.
Yeah, I got you covered, guys. Don't worry. And Pro League, that's spelled E.
Okay.
I would have let you go through with it.
Yeah. Hey, we do a little trolling.
Oh, nade right on top. Oh, it goes into the corner. I thought it was going to land on top of the box.
Have you seen the geeky one? Yeah, bounced off the top.
That's what I thought.
It makes such a big difference. Oh.
I thought he was a geek.
And now Apex is. Oh, he's going to go straight into the side of Nico. A chance with the Tracer Fire. Knows there's 2, if not 3. And yeah, Magisk is just going to bloodlust for this one. And manages to transfer into degster. That is a robbery. And a Vitality, one single click away. We talked about Fiku's clock. Well, he's upgraded it. And now he has the 72 millionth AK-47 in his hands as it's taken from him. 16-9.
That's very convincing, obviously, from the side of Vitality. Maybe a little bit more effort put into the second map. I really thought that was a way, but they lost some of the rounds that they shouldn't have. I mean, some of the rounds that OG lose here to just pistols, it's unacceptable. Maybe they would have had a chance without it.
Yeah, just great firepower, great structure from the Vitality side. Well done in terms of what they were able to put together. And I don't think any of us really pinned OG to be the competitor.